But it does seem like Boom Esports intends to react to what Fnatic throws at them.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think even by how they drafted this, it's all still targeting what Fnatic has, so it's not quite Boom playing into their own game. We always talk about this, right? When you're facing a team like Fnatic, it's a team on this tier, you want to play your own game. You don't play into their hands. You don't want to play into what they expect. And this is definitely something that Fnatic is expecting. Tons of counter picks coming out from Boom. They've really got to find a way to pump that aggression out. It looks scarily like a repeat of Game 2 if they lose ground immediately. Like, say Ice 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 gets the same kind of start he does in his lane, I don't think anything's going to change from Game 2. So, Boom should be bringing it to Fnatic a lot better, but I mean, it's a better draft than Game 2. Both of us agree on that for Boom, but it still doesn't quite bring, you know, the fullest sense of confidence in what Boom has.
That it does not, sir. That it does not. But only time will tell. We can't doubt them too much. Fnatic definitely aren't doing that in their third game. No doubting here. Full attention is Savage. May get spotted, but no, Hyde will take a tier 1 tower hit. And Kesfute looks like he, well, in fact it's FBZ that needs a reconnection. Of course, Savage is going to be well aware that there are multiple heroes down at this bot lane, and he won't bother trying to go after that bounty rune. And by the way, Boom have placed some very deep wards already. You've got one on the left side of the Radiant jungle. You've got one which is a bit more standard on the right side. But that really deep ward on the left, it's just before the game even starts. That's a new one. Like, you don't usually see it this early on.
Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. I think the moments you do see that is to allow yourself to get a lot more of a successful pull if you're going to be stacking that wave, or if you want to go for sniping the couriers. You can see them walking down that bot lane during daytime, so that's something that Boom could be looking for. Just, again, a bit more of a active game for them, trying to shut down these resources off the map. For Fnatic, certainly, I mean, that vision will certainly help if that is their game plan here.
That it will. DJ on the tiny, just going brown boots to clarities. That's a new one as well. You don't generally you have a set of tangos, but DJ breaking the mold a little bit. Savage writing out LOL on the map. Thank you for that, Savage. I imagine that's what he was doing in game number 2, just laughing quite a lot. He really didn't need to do anything in that game.
Yeah, just free farm, push a tower.
Ooh.
Farm again. No.
That's enough, Savage. No more. They really didn't give much region over to FBZ. He actually opted to have 2 shared tangos on the Mars as well, so going for that Buckler Quelling Blade, which I suppose is somewhat standard. You can always bring a set of tangos out straight after the bounties.
Yeah, this should give him a little bit more presence in trading early on. Should allow him to secure a couple of last hits as well. I don't blame him for this. It is, that's pretty well drawn out.
Yeah. DJ drawing, what is that, like a chicken or something?
Yeah, looked like a chicken or a bird.
M-God. I'm guessing they're talking about Moon, but could be Makoto, you never know.
Oh, joint drawing?
Oh, joint? No, this is tough. This is really where the skills come in, and they failed miserably. What is that?
That's the spirit!
Fnatic.
Oh, Savage. That's not how you draw a circle, sir.
It looks like a happy face.
Yeah, but it's a weak circle, John. I'm guessing that's a ghost from Pac-Man or something. Yeah. If you don't finish the drawing in time, it doesn't really count, does it?
No. It has to be while the lines aren't fading. So you are seeing a lot more success from DJ. Really getting his lines in order. Dreaming about snow, we don't get that here.
Snowman for DJ. Hey. None of that, Mr. Savage. Aren't you too young to know those words?
Definitely.
That's enough. How dare you?
Can't stop the beast.
Hi, Twitch, I believe he was trying to say. Hello, DJ. Nice to see you, sir. Apparently Savage didn't learn how to draw triangles in school, John. Mr. Savage needs to get re-educated in his shapes.
Oh, that's a really nice spiral, though.
You see, DJ knows what he's doing. No, Savage, get out of it. Don't ruin the drawing. Oh, now he tries to cover it up by drawing a cheap star.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
It's just a tree. Just a number tree, DJ. Showing us something that Valve can't count up to, and we do go back in.
Thank you for that, John.
The battle begins.
So game will start, 2 bannerings for each side, so a nice little even start. We are going to have Hyde back on that pulse 4 Shadow Demon. He's going to be there with FBZ, so you do have the disruption into the spear set up if that's what you want to go for in this laning stage. So there's always going to be that threatening presence there for Savage, and he'll have to be a little bit more careful about how far he extends in the lane. And I thought for a second Boom may try to run a tri-lane, but that is not going to be the case. We will see the rotation up from the Phoenix towards that top lane. And for some reason, our Monkey King is still running his way to the wave and actually misses out on one of the creeps. In fact, he is still a courier for some reason.
It's a very cuddly form. Is missing out on a couple of last hits, as you mentioned, but Michelle should get started fairly soon. Gonna be interesting to see this lane unfold. You have Kezcute up here again, you've got Jabs and Ice up here again. The real only change is Dreamwhistl's hero. Whether or not he can leverage his right clicks onto the Timbersaw early on while he can is gonna be the real question here. Like, up the moment Ice hits 4, of course this lane just basically becomes really good for the Timbersaw once more. Just not enough damage there to really force him out.
You need to capitalize off the Jingu Mastery straight away, but he hasn't skilled up anything. So Dreamwhistle's just hot. He goes for the Boundless, so he wants to just ensure he secures CS instead. It may defeat the purpose of the Monkey King vs Timber matchup in the first place if you don't have Jingu Mastery, but he can always get a level 2, and now he does have it. But Ice doesn't care. He just runs forward. Dreamwhistle copying way too much damage. He might go down. Fortune's End to fly out. He does not get the mischief dodge off. Jabs, though, has gone too far. He wanted to get those Purifying Flames. Still, Fairy Fire is going to be popped, and now the Phoenix can skew him. He dove, and it does cost him.
That's a nice pickup for Jabs. Kezcute went for a risky play, trying to find that kill. In the end, does get sent home. Those are some pretty long cooldowns on his spells as well, so even if he gets back in his lane, he's not going to have too much of a presence. He's going to have to sit out and wait for a bit, and Jabs is going to be pretty darn happy with how they've already found that kill.
Yeah, that was the unfortunate part about the Phoenix changes, like the added cooldown to Fire Spirits really doesn't make you feel very good in the laning stage. It's a bit slower of a process for Kezcute now. You have to try and use them as efficiently as possible. Jabs just doesn't care for Kezcute, just keeps handing it to him. Meanwhile, bot lane Savage is going to fall very, very low. FBZ, he did have a setup there with the speed, but Savage is going to be fine, and FBZ is starting to fall low. But he will be okay. That's what we kind of talked about. Disruption into spear can be very, very painful for this troll.
Yeah, it's a very straightforward combination that can come out, and you already have great presence with Amoris, especially in comparison to the Pangolier last time, just from the sheer durability that FBZ has. Ooh, nice spear onto the tower.
Yeah, but Whirling Axes come out, and DJ has an avalanche and toss. Back into the T1, FBZ should just die though. Nice disruption high. It will not really save him though, sure. It does not. Can't overextend too much.
That's a bit of a dive from FBZ. His Shadow Demon was not quite there. He was trying to go for the creeps instead, and that does cost him in the end. Savage living with just a bit of HP. That's gonna be enough. As long as he gets to stay in lane, he's fine. Might be a bit of a precarious situation alone there, but overall fine. You have the Mars slowly going back in.
That's the beauty of the range form with the Troll. Meanwhile, you look back at top. Ice just again fearless on this Timbersaw. He just keeps running forward at this Monkey King, and this matchup is not really suiting Dream Missile whatsoever. He's not enjoying this lane. You look at Ice. He's about to hit level 4. Dream Missile has already hit 4 to be fair. But Ice is kind of having a repeat game of number 1, except the opposing Pulse 1 is getting a bit more farm this time. Never mind that though, Savage is in trouble bot lane. FBZ almost finds the kill, but Savage will survive barely, and now DJ comes in after Hind with some decent body blocks, but there's going to be no follow-up to it. Still, DJ is running forward after the bounty runes now, but Disruption is going to come out from Hind, who is spamming Shadow Poisons, and DJ may actually go down if he cops one more. He does, and it will be enough. Hyde does take him out. Savage tries to find the trade, but FBZ will be there to protect.
He trades his life away for the bounty rune. I don't think DJ's actually going to be too upset about that. They do get a little bit more gold from him picking up that bounty, so in the end his team does get a nice little injection. You do waste some time from the Shadow Demon, waste some of his mana. Hyde will go back to base to reset. Does have the TP to go back in fully refreshed, but you are giving a lot more time to Savage to just really find some farm. Like, FBZ is big, tanky, and strong. Without the setup from the Shadow Demon, it's not too scary of a lane.
When you look at Moonin on that Storm Run, he's been forced to back off towards his own fountain, which is not the greatest of news to him on the Storm, but in terms of laning stage, he has had a pretty great time. Makoto just managing to now catch up on the OD because there wasn't that Storm there any longer. But top lane, I can't say the same for Dreamercell, who's currently getting dived by Ice. There's no level 6 on the Timber, but he can certainly burst him down with one more Whirling Death. Dreamercell still trying to run it, DJ moving forward, but the chains is just perfect from Ice. So bot, Savage getting chased. Fortune's End will purge off all the shadow poison stacks, and it will remain a 3-1 Fnatic's way.
Fnatic really starting to push that top lane out to its max potential. Dreamercell is starting to struggle here. The Ice is coming on to his own. He's level 5. You really just can't pressure a Timbersaw at this point. You should try to have Dreamercell go somewhere else. Maybe the jungle. There's just no presence here for the Monkey King any longer. They did not manage to find that early damage onto Ice to force him out. And you're at that point once more in the game. Fnatic 3-1, 1k lead. Ice taking over his lane. Savage not being pressured too hard. Where's the shakeup from Boom?
I don't see it yet. I mean, arguably the game's a little bit closer than it was last time, so there's that. Like, they are still finding more farm than last game, but it doesn't really change the outcome, I don't think, if they don't start to escalate a little bit. And Dreamercell, he's actually just leaving the lane completely now.
Radiant's
Where is he off to?
is under attack.
We saw this before, where he kind of rotated around the map and didn't achieve anything, and well, yeah, he kind of walks away for a bit, then comes back.
Just a lot of wasted time. He's not finding last hits. He's not finding creeps to soak off of. Would have been much more efficient for him to just commit to the jungle. Instead, he's just standing around Ice. Ice just cops the tower hits, building up his stacks. Pressures Kezcube.
Yeah, Kezcube's trying to, you know, throw out fire spirits and be a bit of a nuisance that way, but Ice has just constantly got 18 reactive armor stacks on him. just healing through all the damage. And I mean, I don't blame Dreamersoft for not wanting to lane like this any longer. Looks like they are going to rotate Makoto back. He does have sanities, but you have no way of really stealing in. Well, Astral's going to be there, but what does that do? Ice. He might just fight back. Chakrum's there now. You do have the Jingu Mastery propped on Dreamer's Soul Ice. Just going to go for the TP. Makoto has Astral, but doesn't have Vision. And you don't have a level in Tree Dance or Primal Spring, so you can't get the Vision too easily.
Just a lot of wasted time from Boom. Ice gonna be very happy to force that rotation out. He gets to live. You waste some time from that OD. That does give Moon a lot more space down mid. He does clear out that side camp on the Dire's side. So once more, Fnatic just finding everything they want to here so far. Boom. It is a bit of a slower pace. Like, they have slowed Fnatic down compared to game 1, but they're not finding the answers yet. They still need Dreamercell to find a lot more farm than he currently has. They still need to get a lot more EXP onto Kezcute and Mikoto before anything can happen here, and I don't know if they're going to get enough time, as Ice is really just taking over.
Yep, he certainly is. Third in net worth on the Timber at the moment.
Is under attack.
Taking all the creeps away from Boom. They are just not finding anything. In fact, Fnatic's going to run at Boom down to the bot lane high. Going to fall low. FBZ will spear him away. You do now have the level 7 on Mars. He does have his ultimate up. It seems like Boom may need to make a quick rotation with that arena. But if you do that, you also leave Savage alone to free farm. So it's like you can't win either way.
And even then, like, you have the arena up, sure, but you don't have anything else. The egg's not up, you do have the Santis Eclipse with only level 1 Arcane Orb, and, you know, you do have to rely on spamming out the Astrals. It's not the most consistent damage.
Well, bot lane Savage popped the battle trance to run into the arena walls, but DJ is going to be there to Avalanche, and he actually finds Hyde. They will get the trade, so DJ does die, but they save Savage, and that's all he really wanted in the end anyway.
He just TPs away, starts farming up in a different lane. This should allow Boom to perhaps take the tower, so they can get an objective out of this. At the very least, it's not a very fast push, but they miss out on the target they want. They miss out on the target they really need to pressure. Savage is going to be extremely happy with how that ends up.
Mid lane, they are trying to force a push now. FBZ going to be there to defend, but he doesn't have arena. And that should mean that this defense doesn't happen, but perhaps it's just their presence alone. In fact, no, Makoto, he comes in on the OD. That could be enough. And Fnatic, they will not test Boom in this mid lane any longer. They'll back off. Back to farming for them.
It's really just Fnatic's game to take slow. We saw it last time in game number 2. They just build up in Savage, he'll melt objectives later on. Moon does need a little bit more in the Storm before he comes online. And Ice is not leaving that top lane. So they're killing off one lane up top with just one hero. Everyone else is kind of reacting with what Boom's doing. They are saving Savage every time he's jumped, which is enough even if they trade DJ away. And Boom is just forcing these unfavorable situations. You're trying to go onto Ice, but then he's just so tanky.
Yeah, you still don't really have the damage. I mean, it seems like you're going to need 5 heroes to even bother trying to take down this Timbersaw, and even then, I can't promise that it would actually work. Looks like this time around Ice, he's not going to bother going for the Hood of Defiance, but rather he is going to pick up the Yule Scepter. Hope that is just perfectly fine.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You wouldn't mind seeing the pipe come out on the Timber this time though, like especially up against the OD. Could be some pretty high value.
Yeah, it could boost your entire team's durability, but it really doesn't feel like they even rely on it. I just can't see Boom punishing that damage up. They have jabs anyway.
Kezcute getting caught out the Phoenix with the Vortex, with the damage from DJ. It's more than enough. before he could even think about Icarus diving.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Dreamersault
attack.
is forcing in the bot lane as the Monkey King, but holy, he has 0 farm.
It's not.
I didn't realize.
Is under attack.
He's at 3.9. Doesn't have any major item, only has power treads. He is way behind compared to, say, Ice or Moon. Even Savage has a slight lead, not too far ahead, but all the other cores on Fnatic are definitely on top. So it's been a slow start. He had to lane against Ice. He had to walk around a lot. He still needs to play recovery.
This is literally a repeat though, like Ice in the exact same position at really the exact same time as last game. The rest of his team kind of joins him for a bit to see if they can find a pickle pop at the top lane. They can't, but they force Boom to rotate 5 heroes top, waste their time, and then go back to farming themselves.
Yeah, just Fnatic setting the pace. We talk about this every single time, but Boom Esports is just playing into Fnatic's playstyle. Right? They're trying to respond to Fnatic. They're not setting the pace by themselves here, Boom. It's a very reactive game for them so far, and that just means they're not going to find whatever they want. Fnatic is dictating the terms every single time. They will have to wait out some farm on their cores. At the very least, this time around, you do see Mikoto at number 1, right? So he has farm on the OD. He's saving up for the Ags upgrade on that Astral Imprisonment, extra damage, extra charge, and the damage areas do stack up, so you can really start pumping it out then, and Moon actually playing really forward.
He's level 11. You don't really have lockdown. Like, you've got Astral, but as soon as the Astral ends, he's just out. I just don't see how they even think about taking Moon out unless you have the Monkey King there with Boundless, but even that's quite doubtful. As FPC finds out that it's not fun when Ice is nearby, loses quite a bit of his HP from just one whirling death. And well, Ice is going to have that Yule Scepter up completed very, very soon.
It's just gonna give him a lot more leeway to zip in and out. He already does kind of have that, like, issues Boom has with control are piling up, and this time does give Boom some period to farm up. You have to question, is that farm trade really worthwhile? Sure, Fnatic doesn't have a major lead. 2K 15, 16 minutes in, not the biggest deal in the world. Boom does have a lot of leeway to really play catch-up, but they haven't been using their team fight potential.
So bot lane hide, he gets jumped on by Moon, he will die. Fortune's End is mischief dodged, and Dreamersault will actually be okay. They won't chase him down. Instead, Dreamersault commits the Balance Strike, but after that there is nothing. The Storm can just zip out for free. And Boom, they had a smoke as 3, but they're going to find absolutely 0 out of it. So instead, they'll go down mid where they may find DJ on the Tiny. But even if they did, I don't think DJ would care.
Definitely not. This is just, again, strange movements from Boom. They're playing reactively. They have all the teamfight ults they could ask for, but they're just not able to set the pace, not able to dictate who they jump. They're going to try on Ice.
They could do it. He doesn't have the hook. So he's not as tanky. Egg dropped immediately with the arena. Yeah, he burns. But when they went for Ice, Dreamersault ended up dying at the bot lane. So it's still a great kill for Boom, but you don't want to lose your Monkey King as a trade for that Timbersaw.
It's still something for Boom, considering how far behind they are. They do manage to snag themselves a very important kill. Dreamocell is going to be lagging behind because he's not around for this. He's just died a bit too much. He's at 4.5k. That is a bigger gap now between him and Savage. They lose their tier 1 down the bot. Boom is kind of setting up for something, but the objective is already gone. So there's really not much here to clean up. Mikoto does have the Aghanims now on the OD, so there's additional damage coming out, a lot more control. Perhaps this is really what Boom was waiting for.
Well, it seems like a nice spike. Oh, Ice. That wasn't the chains. That's not how that works. Boom, making for a smoke attempt, reduces the Phoenix picking one up. I think with the Ags you get a nice spike, right? You can start to make a play now. Still, you can't kill Moon, but you can kill other people. In fact, Ice does end up getting Astral. They have the speed set up with FBZ, and he does latch onto a twin quite nicely. And Ice, for promise, will save him as DJ. Runs in with the Avalanche and toss onto FBZ. Another Astral onto Ice, and he's not dying yet. The Makoto is surrounding, Sanity's being dropped, and it is eventually going to be enough. Now Jabs also dies, and that's the kind of team fight Boom wanted.
Is under attack.
And they should be able to clean up the Tier 1 mid because of it.
Definitely. That's exactly what Boom needs. They don't find the biggest targets. They do at least take Ice out. They should be able to take this mid Tier 1. That's the bigger thing. It will allow them a bit more control in that Radiant jungle, perhaps to hunt down our Troll. They still need to get the big team fights off. I think you'd want to see them kind of isolate Savage or Moon. This is the priority set of targets. They do have the Egg and Arena up while they have the Sanities down, so it is still another window where they can take a fight.
So much pressure on Makoto this game to really pull the team through. It's like, when you look at Dream Assault, he still really has got nothing. Sitting very low on the net worth graph as well as Kesview. They do find DJ. So Arena block commit. Hyde almost died in the process, but nice little support pick up on the Tiny. That'll make it a 7-6. Speaking of, how's Savage going? We haven't really talked about the Troll Warlord recently, but he hasn't died this game. He has 2 assists, and so far he's got the Sergeant Yashara.
Yeah, he's just waiting for his BKB, and then all that control that Boom does have is pretty much negated, right? Like, they have nothing to pierce through that for the most part. So Savage should have a decently good time, maybe except for the Demonic Purge. That's really it. The Demonic Purge coming through. Beyond that, you're not seeing any control for that BKB Troll. And that's when Savage really starts to kick it into gear.
Well, Fnatic, they're going to start setting up the mid-tier 1 tower, and there will be 0 defense from Boom. They already pound the opposing tier 1, so it's just fine to take it. It looks like Boom's ready to set up FBZ. He does have the blink, ready to jump in and find a massive arena. You do also have the egg available. And you don't have the sanities. You still need another 18 seconds for that. I think once the sanities is up, they go for a smoke and they go for it straight away. Fair enough. It'll be up very, very soon. FBZ, blink, does jump on DJ, will commit the arena. They just want the easy tiny kill, they can grab it. Nothing wrong with that. Even FBZ still chasing jabs. He won't be able to get the Oracle, but they take what they can get.
It's not the biggest target to lose for Fnatic, not the biggest target for Boom to take, but this is exactly what they need to keep doing. They need to dictate the pace of game, even if it's just finding these support kills. Once they start to rattle Fnatic a bit, they can start to get a bit more leverage here. Savage is fairly far forward. If they can actually jump him, that could be a pretty darn good kill.
It is very true. He does have battle trance, but when you're alone, that means nothing. Will they predict he's in the tree line? They will not. Savage will be safe.
Radiant are scanning.
And in fact, Savage actually gets a scan off on FBZ. DJ's there on the Tiny, and they look to set up as Avalanche does connect. Toss there as move. He gets in for a nice kill on the Mars.
You had your...
And this is that point where we may get their wishes granted and actually have a big team fight occur. But it does feel like you really do need that Mars. Like, you can't just fight without him.
You need the arena up. You have all the other spells up and running, but you definitely need that arena. It's your main area control. It does look like Fnatic is setting up for the Roche. They do walk Savage in, is scanned out. So Boom is ready. They have their tools. They could actually fight this.
They're going to try and take the Roche on, but yeah, Boom. They definitely could take this fight. The question is, will they? Observer ward goes down. Not as much vision here from Fnatic. Ball lining straight off the high. They want that Shadow Demon gone, but nice Astral to save from Makoto, and now Dream itself commits the work on it. Get on the DJ. Makoto trying to man fight, but he's been disarmed by that base hitting, but now they do find the arena onto Ice, so they do get the timber. Egg does also explode. Boom. They should probably keep going here, but it's still very, very dangerous. Jabs will be the target. Makoto does a lot of damage, and he finds himself another kill, but now Savage, he's going off the elite pack. No, he gets put on FBZ on the margin, just hold the shield up, and with that Astral, it looks like Savage will end up going down. That's a great team fight again for Boom Esports. Yeah, Fnatic just not able to control Makoto.
It looked a bit wonky at the start when they were forced to egg at the cliff, not really finding anyone in that AoE, and they missed the arena on Savage. In the end, they still find all the key kills they wanted. They stopped the Roshan from coming out. They saved the Santi's Eclipse, so Mikado still has a tool in case something else breaks out in this downtime. And they find some really big kills, so Boom definitely still has the potential to take fights to Fnatic. Definitely keeping it a bit better tied up here in game number 3. 4K advantage is still there for Fnatic. They still are ahead. And Moon is playing with fire.
Yeah, he hasn't got any mana. They do get the vision, but they can't get the disruption off. Oof. Had they caught on that would have been huge on the Storm.
Dreamoso?
Game's up. TBs are coming in, but it's too late. Ice Science has already found the kill, but Makoto, he does get an Astral off. I don't think it's going to be enough, but FBZ, the spear might be, and he does get speed to retreat essentially. Ice Science copying a lot of damage, but another Astral to interrupt those chains. Chains the other way this time. We'll switch it up. More Astrals to come. Ice Science can't get away. Nice spear coming out. Hyde will be the one to secure the kill on the Shadow Demon.
Again, a pretty decent kill for Boom, but Fnatic is going to be happy with keeping Dreamosol in check. He's still struggling on the Monkey King, by the way. 6.5k net worth, behind even his own Mars at 8k. Your Monkey King is just not ready to stand in these fights. He needs that BKB. I think with the BKB, he's at least ready to let off that Wukong's command in front of bigger targets beyond just DJ. And you're going to need his presence fairly soon. And you take a look at Savage, he's just the recipe away, which is about 100 gold for him. And then he's going to have that BKB on the Troll. That makes it a lot harder to control that hero. Again, you'll be relying on that Demonic Purge to hope that he's just going to be stuck in a very relatively small area compared to where he would be.
Yeah, that seems to be the answer Fnatic's waiting for. I mean, you look at Monkey King as the pos 1, but I think we all agree Dakota is the real carry right now. So we have to keep an eye out on. So I guess Dreamosaur's at that point now where he's just scouting for the team and putting Wukongs down. You know, just accepting death when it comes to it. Fnatic, they do smoke up. They want to go for a fight with this 10-second BKB charge on Savage. Never been a better time. They are going to jump into hide and miss the avalanche, but it won't matter. It should be a kill, but no, disruption comes out. Savage, he still wants to fight as Moon now jumps in. There is a silence there on the OD. That'll be due to the Orchid of Moon on that Storm. Oh, Arena, FBZ, he starts the team fight. Air going to be dropped immediately, but a nice toss out from DJ. I wasn't aware you could do that.
Yeah, that's, he was outside the pit. He can toss out. I didn't know that goes true. I thought...
Well, I guess you are tossing over the wall.
I suppose. One way to bypass that, and Fnatic does go back into the pit. That is a lot of big spells blown up by Boom. They are not aware the rope is being taken. Just gonna go uncontested towards TNC. Towards Fnatic, sorry.
Fnatic, they get what they wanted. They give it to Moon instead of Savage. Moon, obviously well, he's a much more farmed up hero right now on the side of Fnatic, and Aegis is really nice on a Storm Spirit, I gotta tell you, John.
Oh yeah. You just have so much more to give with its second life. You can play a lot riskier in these fights. And Moon hasn't died anyway, so he is worth a considerably good amount of gold if he does fall. This does give extra leeway to Fnatic for them to play around at. Boom now once more, kind of pushed back. They're one of their last two tier 2s being pressured in. Not sure if Fnatic can fully commit for this, as there is still the Sanity's Eclipse on Mikado.
Mikado does get the Astral off. Savage does get out of it. And he's not scared. He'll go after that team too. Now we'll jump in on the Phoenix. Get rid of that annoying support, but Ken's will survive. Do they want to keep fighting? It is dangerous. Boom say yes they do, but Ice will be able to chain away. Makoto now, the Orchid has been committed, so perhaps they could fight this. In fact, Arena is quite nice move. He moves it now. Ice somehow out of there as well. And Bold Promise will save the day for him for now. But he's going to be completely surrounded. Jab still moving in his move. Goes after Hyde. Makoto does pick up the Oracle kill, and Ice goes by, but Hyde does go with him now. 23 Savage commits the ulti. Dream Assault is dead again on the Monkey King. FBZ tanking the rest of the troll damage and Savage. He needs to TP with that BKB. He doesn't get it, FBZ. What timing! Sometimes you've got to try. And FBZ, I don't know if that was luck or if that was predicted. But that was very nice.
That just gives a lot more towards Boom. It did look a bit iffy at the start, you know, it didn't look like a very neat engagement coming out. The FBZ's Arena not really snagging anyone at the end, just a bit of a clip with a spear, but they find a couple of really big kills in exchange for losing their Monkey King. The lead is still towards Fnatic's side. They didn't manage to burn through that Aegis. The Fnatic still has a lot to play with, but Boom is definitely still in the game. You know, they're taking these fights quite nicely. They've got the kill advantage now. They can't quite transition to any big objectives just yet, but they are slowly building up. You know, the damage coming out from this OD from Mikado is starting to be considerably big. He's working towards his Hurricane Pike next, just to give himself some added reach and protection. Once that's up, it should be much easier for Mikado to position himself.
Speaking of Mikado, ball starting in, does get the Astral on Ice's side, and immediately to jump into the arena, but Moon, he's there to help out. He zips back out, they can go after Jab on the Oracle, but he'll commit the false promise immediately. Now, where do we go? It's onto Hyde. Moon really wants to get rid of that support Shadow Demon, but Hyde, well, he should die. Egg has been dropped. Moon, he's falling very, very low, but they just can't quite finish the job. Meanwhile, FBZ in huge trouble. Astral will be there to save. Savage has already committed his own BKB, but DJ comes in, he does clean up the mob. Now Ice's back in the room, they're just dancing around the side of Boom. Battle Clash is there, Astral will kind of just waste it as Savage is now having to farm creeps while this is happening, but eventually it does wear off. Lucas finally comes out of Dreamosaur, but it's all too late. Makoto goes down, and now Dreamosaur will also lose his life. And Jabs, rightfully so, gives him the tip. And the Wukong's command, it just never came out till the last second. Like, I guess they just never found the right moment because the Arena of Blood was kind of misplayed. But you've got to throw it out if you're going to fight.
It's way too much going wrong there for Boom. Fnatic managing to dance around everything they could throw out. We saw a lot of hesitation from Mikado to throw out that Santis Eclipse. Never came out. He held on to it for a very long time, so they don't really manage to burst anyone beyond Jabs. And that will mean Fnatic is just going to go into those tier 3s. They still have, well, a lot of charges onto Moon. This should be a fairly easy take onto this tier 3. At least when the respawns come out, Santis and Arena is up.
Good rats. Give it away off Fnatic. This Boom side is nothing without Makoto up. They are going to try and chase for the troll, but Savage is perfectly safe. Jabs will ensure that is the case. Well, 14k net worth lead now. It's just going up and up. Because Boom are nowhere near out of this by any stretch of the imagination, but it seems as though they really can't have a split fight like that. Like, Makoto needs to be protected, and he needs everyone to kind of be just stuck together.
They need to be able to drop all of their spells at once on a big target. Fnatic has been very good with declumping though, so it's been hard for them to find the ideal Arena, the ideal Egg, and the ideal Wukong's command this entire game. Just a lot of discipline from Fnatic to not clump up. So Boom just can't get an opportunity. They're also still waiting for Dreamo Cell to finish a BKB. We're at 32 minutes in, and this Monkey King only has Diffusal and a Mithril Hammer. So Nat still has to come out from our Monkey.
Yeah, that isn't good. I just don't think you consider the Monkey King a carry. Like, he's a core, but it's all Makoto. Like,
oh yeah. He's the damage dealer. It's definitely not the Monkey. You would need the Wukong's command with the arena though. You need a lot more. You need all those spells to land. And for that to happen, the Monkey needs the BKB. So this needs to come out faster from Dreamo. And they are trying to give him the space. It's just Fnatic has been much better with their farming patterns. Savage, 15k net worth, has a basher up. So that BKB is not going to save you anymore. Not every single time. And that does cause some concern for Boom, right? Like, they've already got a bit of a way to dance around what Boom Esports has. Fnatic does smoke up. They're going to try to find something.
they're going. Top lane. Oh, Dreamo Cell. Get silenced. Move down. I mean, look, they were smoked to be fair. He had no vision. He's trying to find as much farm as he possibly can on this Monkey King, but when you have a Storm that's had a free game the whole time and is top of the net worth board by this much, it's just so hard on the Monkey King to come back.
Yeah, definitely. It's just he had an okay time in the laning phase. It kind of fell apart afterwards when Ice pushed it out. Didn't have any room to farm in. Boom has got to they've got to get a lot more out of this map right now. Like, they have Mikado, who's pretty strong. I'd say try to do something with that.
FBZ gets a spear, but the Astral comes out at the same time, and Ice will be unaffected. You do also have the Heaven's Halberd up on the Timber, which makes life a little bit harder for Makoto. And who are they diving?
Top tower is under attack.
They're just securing bounties. They're not giving anything away to Boom. Not even a bounty loot. All out.
Just completely locking out the map here from Boom. And the opportunities for Boom to get this fight out are shrinking. Well, you have the Ags up on Moon, so he can just basically beat a team fight for the side of Fnatic.
Yeah, Boom have smoked up at the exact time he got the axe to make matters worse as FBZ. He's going to run in. He doesn't have Blink available. It's on cooldown. He'll pop his BKB. He gets the arena, but Savage pops his own BKB, and now Moon comes in with the Vortex. Egg is ticking away, so you need to leave the area. They will. Moon, I don't think he can fight too much longer as his Bloodstone, well, his mana is very low, but he is actually healing up quite fast, and he has an Arcane Rune active now to make matters worse for Boom. So they look like they are going to go back in. Zip, Makoto is looking at the target. Spear is going to stop him from a little bit. Mert falling low, but will walk away now. Dreamo Cell does get the Wukong's out. But they walk out of it. Ice gets Astral up. Mert again with the Vortex, trying to set up on the main man. They want the OD. That's all they really do want. He does finally pop his BKB charge, and Astral will be there to ensure Savage can't keep up. They just aren't able to find an opening.
Yeah, this Ags is causing so many issues. Moon just zips in, gets the Vortex off, zips out, and you're forced to pop your BKB. Like, Mikado down to 8 seconds on his charge now. So you haven't been able to really use that in the big team fights you'd want. They haven't been successful in that arena drop. The egg follow-up was nice, but they did just manage to walk out of that area. Fnatic does take this opportunity to reset, go back into the Roche pit, uncontested. Aegis and Cheese gonna be going their way. And Boom gonna have to play the high ground defense and try to kill 2 heroes twice over, basically.
The thing is, like, if you could stop the Storm, like if you had some way to keep the Storm down throughout the team fight, it feels like Boom would have everything they could ask for. Like, everybody else they can kind of deal with. But when the Storm's zipping constantly across the fight, taking out your supports, vortexing everybody, forcing BKBs, there's just no way to take the fight for Boom. Like, it just feels impossible. And now, to make matters worse, Savage has the full Abyssal Blade.
You can just focus any single hero down, just walk up to them, and just keep them in their place, burst them down. So Boom has to get their initiation perfect, and that's such a tall order. Like, this team fight has a lot of potential, but Fnatic has been so disciplined to be really split up, to not give that opportunity away, and just slowly but surely whittling this map away. Like, there's one tier 2 left for Boom. Doesn't matter. They can't dip out to that bot jungle. They've got wards there, but they still can't take control on their own side of the map. They're having to play catch-up farm this way. Now, they do have the BKB and Dreamo Cell. This should allow him to have a little bit more presence.
Makoto, Astral. Savage, unaffected. And now Zitz once again with the vortex straight on the OD, and the Abyssal comes out. They can't take him out as he does get Glimmercade. Meanwhile on the back there was an arena on DJ, but no follow-up movement. Dreamersaw trying to man fight up against Moon, but he just ball lightnings away once again. Now Zitz back in, Dreamersaw, he's falling very, very low. Moon wants to take him out. They do just drop him up, but now Makoto's in trouble. The OD committing all his actions as Moon, controlling the rest of the side of Boom. They force a buyback from the Phoenix, and that'll be enough. They go back to that tier 2 bot tower. An immediate smoke. They're not backing off yet. They've still got time on the Aegis. Ice. Going straight forward. Spear. That Astral at the same time again. It's not what you want.
Diamond structures are fortified.
Savage. Gonna force the fortify. FBZ, all he can do is steer it back. Ice now getting confident to jump in. DJ misses the toss on the Mars. They will have to anyway. Meanwhile, Moon again on the Phoenix. FBZ forced the BKB up just in case. Savage trapped up a little bit. Abyssal blades up. He doesn't have trance yet. It's in 10 seconds. He'll just BKB and walk out of it. He has Aegis anyway. In fact, they're going to jump back in now. They get a toss onto FBZ, and that's the last death. No buyback available on that Mars, and Moon again jumping in onto the Phoenix. They will astronaut move, but it means nothing. The Rax is going down regardless. That DJ, Avalanche costs, the Phoenix falls very, very low. He will survive for now. DJ falling low, but False Promise will save him from jabs. He'll be fine.
Fnatic, again, just managing to find objectives, force the buybacks. They don't even expend any of their tools from the Roshan. But they still have that Aegis up and running. I think they did eat the cheese, but it doesn't really matter, right? You've still got the Aegis on Savage. That will allow him to play much more aggressively. And Boom just does not have the answer. This is the high ground defense. This is where all their spells shine in the tight area. It's not doing it.
There's a long timber range from Ice. And they have got Ketsu. That's a dive. High also going down. He buys back immediately. DJ falling low. He does go down to the Proto, but now Savage is on top of him. Not really getting lucky with bashes, but he pops his battle trance and brings himself. He's a much easier to kill right now on that Monster King. He does get bashed. He has buyback. Everyone does committed, and now the arena comes down. They may at least find one, and they do take out the sword. They finally get it, and now Savage, he'll lose the Aegis, but Moon has brought back and is TPing to the outpost in the dire jungle. Savage, he needs help. He doesn't have the trance. They do find the kill. Moon, the buyback was wasted essentially unless he jumps back in. He may need to. His jabs is going to start falling low, but Ice at least gets out of there, and looks like jabs will also do the same.
Is under attack.
And so Boom do hold. They do get the buyback off the storm. That was, I believe, the first death of Moon. Yeah, it was. He was 11-0 before that death happens. Thank you for the other casters for pointing out. 59 sold in right now on Makoto.
59 buffs on Makoto, and he doesn't drop the
59 buffs, right.
Doesn't drop the Sandkeys. Could have found 2 kills there on Ice and the Oracle, and he doesn't. Like, that would have been enough. That's a lot of damage that he could pump out. So he's been holding on to that Sandkeys for a very long time. Now, on the upside, that means it'll be available in the next fight. I don't know how soon Boom wants to take that next fight, though. That is a bit of a tall order. I think, you know, they found the kills they wanted. They are staying in this game. They are pretty much basically 2 racks behind. 20k8 net worth behind as well. They've got to play the next few fights perfectly. They've got to get the targets they want. And Fnatic are still in a great spot. Like, even if they drop those heroes, even if they had to buy back, they still have a 28k advantage. They still have a heck of a lot of Bloodstone charges onto Moon. It's still a big issue.
For mid lane, FBZ will be okay. You do get the timeless relic out now, Makoto on the OD, so he does have some very nice spell out, plus 15%, but like you said, he kind of needs to drop the sanities for that to matter, but that's a big item. Prince's Knife was found by Kesq. Instant Hex on the Storm, that could be exactly what they're looking for.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, they just need to get the right jump in. They need to be the ones to take the fight to Fnatic. Don't get caught out by Fnatic. The moment they do, they're on the back foot. They're just 1 racks away from mega creeps, basically. There's still range racks down bot. That should be very easy to clean up after everything's said and done.
Dire's top barracks
Fnatic
are
still
under
have
attack.
control on the map. They're the ones going around just
Radiant
fine.
are scanning.
They're the ones clearing out the waves, clearing out the camps, building up slowly but surely still.
Been one.
So, boom. Have got to still be cautious, but they have managed to buy themselves some time. And Mikado is a very big hero. Like, you know, that the items he does have is pretty darn nice.
Oh, top lane, Kesq. He can't afford to die like that. Not right now, you can't. Still has about 2 minutes 20 seconds on the buyback cooldown. But it seems as though Fnatic aren't really willing to push yet, so it's not going to matter. Who's holding the Prince's Knife?
It's on Mikado. Well, no, a while ago it was, but
Oh, it's on FBZ now. Okay. I mean, that makes enough sense. It allows them to set up with the spear a lot easier.
Stupendous.
Still, it feels like it's going to be a little bit hard for him to connect with the Storm.
it's not an easy thing. I mean, he is a melee hero, so it is a bit of a crapshoot, right? Like, if you can hit the Storm that fast, you probably could land your spear in the arena as well. That's definitely a possibility. But Fnatic, with the control they have, dip into the Roche once more. That is the refresh shard on him as well. You have a lot of options for who to get that. I'm not sure who they'd want it on. Maybe Savage for two uses of Battle Trance, but I think Oracle would be much better off. Jabs with 2 False Promises sounds pretty potent.
Well, for now, Savage
Did
will
want to
take
go that
it.
route.
I love the itemization here from Makoto. Looks like he's gone for a Scythe of Ice, and I think he's got the full item. He does. That's a game changer. Nobody in the map right now has buyback of either. Fnatic won't go for the fight anyway, but if they wanted to make some kind of smoke rotation and surprise reveal that side, could change the whole way this game is going. DJ meanwhile has an Ethereal Blade up. Don't know where the hell we found that goal. And a BKB, yeah.
The fresh BKB as well. You have a Satanic and Savage, so he can get a lot more
Can't get
fights.
easy. Mr. Speed. Prince's Knife already used up. Moon jumps inside the blast. Is going to be there. Makoto, he goes for the Astral Burst. Gets inside the device with a balance. Moon, a bounce dive, false forward will be there. Savage jumps in. They've got the arena on the storm. This may be enough to actually burst him down through that false promise. He zips away. He zips back in, but it looks like his Aegis is going to expire. Nevertheless, he has a secondary life. He can go again. They don't have time on the Chadwick. He did die. Now FBZ. A nice speed on the Savage. Where's the damage, however? They've ethereal bladed up this OD, and now they get hexed. The OD goes down the Kodo. He didn't have buyback. This could be the end of the game. If Dream Soul also goes down, the GG has been called. And Fnatic, they just played this series way too well. And they do manage to pick it up 2-1.
Yeah, just really well played from Fnatic, turning it around in game 2 and in the third game as well, just dominating from game 2. Game 3, a bit more even.